weeks. How do you feel it's helped you guys kind of gain momentum as a team, get that energy going? Because I feel like this facility is a place where people want to be all the time.
The guys don't go home, and that's the great part about it. You talk about building chemistry, camaraderie, which we already have. Our guys are wanting to stay in the building, until they have to go home, which has been fantastic.
The energy going into the regular season, kind of talk about the vibe right now, going 4-1 in the preseason. It just feels like there's a lot of momentum on your side.
Well, our guys are really just buying into the things we're telling them to do and how we have to be, how we have to approach every single game. The ability of working on getting better, competing every night, the leveling up of being consistent in our play, of a certain style of play, and then just winning each day. And these guys have done that. They've worked towards it every single day that we've been in this building.
How's Mo doing after leaving the last game? Was he able to practice at all?
He was not able to practice. He's going to still be in the evaluation process to see where he goes.
Is he in a boot?
He is in a walking boot, yes.
How are some of the other guys doing? I know we maybe get an update after training camp ended. Are guys progressing? Are Gary, Markel, Jalen?
They're sticking with their treatments, sticking with their programs, and just trying to see how they're progressing. Slowly but surely. But they're on schedule for whatever that looks like in these moments. It's just they're doing the rehab that we're asking them to do.
Now that the preseason games are done, the first regular season games on the horizon, how does the approach or how does the focus change, in this practice and in the couple practices you have before you head out?
We'll just continuing to tighten it up, making sure that these guys understand the things that we're asking them to do, that our simple fundamentals and basics are always going to be hit home every single day. But then their ability to execute at a higher level. Obviously, we're going to continue to talk about taking care of the basketball, defending without fouling. Those are the continued situations we're going to have to keep looking at.
They're guys that have been in the league for a little while, but they're still young guys. You kind of have to tamp down the enthusiasm for the first game of the season a little bit, or how do you kind of manage the emotions of getting ready for the games to start counting? I'm sure everyone's excited.
No, I want our guys to be energized. I really do. I want our guys to be energized about the way they're playing, the way that they're continuing to lean on each other, the work that they've put in. I think there needs to be a level of energy and joy for the game. I mean, that's what we've asked them to do, to compete with a level of compassion and joy for each other.
The fact that Detroit is kind of in a similar place as you guys, being young, vibrant, a lot of energy, do you feel like that's a good opportunity for you to have your opener against a team like that?
I think we're going to continue to focus on what we're doing, and I think obviously we have to look at what they're running and their sets and how we can take some out of certain things, how we're going to defend, how we're going to look to score. But it's always going to continue to come down to us. Are we dominating the simple things from that regard, no matter who we play?
With going back to Wagner, do you expect him to be sidelined for the opener?
Well, yeah, he's still in the evaluation process, and that's I think the reason why we don't give timetables is because of that reason. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. So, similar to Jalen being out, there was a timetable I guess put on him, but now he'll be available, for the opener. And so I think that's why we try to say there's no timetable to what we're doing, or just going out and asking, not our people what they're capable of when they're coming back. I think it's so important that's why we don't give the timetable when guys come back.
So going back, you said Jalen Suggs will be
Jalen will be available for that opener.
And so he's been able to go through
He's been able to practice every day, yeah.
I guess for you, does that, because he didn't, play the last couple, how does that change for you in terms of maybe going about rotations differently, just you weren't able to look at them the last couple of games?
Well, I know what Jalen's capable of doing, and our guys know what he's capable of doing, the way in which he's played and how he was able to recover getting back. But it doesn't change much. Our guys understand, when he steps in the game, that he'll be ready to go, no matter what that looks like.
We've talked a lot about how kind of some of the bigger players are doing guard skills. Something I've noticed in preseason, you've had a lot of guards kind of setting screens. How do you go about teaching, Cole Anthony to set a good screen? Maybe something he's probably never had to really learn how to do.
No, that's a great question. And because the league's going into so much switching, the angles in which you set screens has to be better. So there's a technique in which you do it, opening up to where you can find that pass. And our guards are willing to set screens. They like hitting those bigs on screens. So obviously it creates an opportunity for them not just to receive the pass, but to also to be able to create a play for that big.
Gonna talk screen assists for the guards a little bit.
Yes.
Make sure they know they're getting something.
They're getting something. So now they know how those bigs feel when they're setting all the screens, and they may not get rewarded. Now they understand that this is the opposite side of it, which is great. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you. to go now? I mean,
That was
coverage
great.
moved up pretty fast.
It was great. Again, I understood. Watch out. You okay? I understood what it was. I had done this exact same thing before. So understanding what I had to do to get back. I've gone through rehab before, so understanding what work I had to do in the weight room to get back and everything, and to show the staff and everybody that I was okay to go. And that's exactly how I went about it. So it feels good. I don't like missing time. I don't want to miss time. We're feeling good. We're playing good, and I want to be assistance with that. To help my team win and win with my team. So. Now I just focus on Wednesday, focus on getting this year started off right.
How helpful was the training and medical staff to get you back so quickly?
They do a great job. They do a great job, and not only, putting me through things to help test it and continue to build up strength and all that, and strengthen other areas, but trusting me, and trusting that how much I know my body and that I've gone through these things before. So we have a really good relationship. We're able to talk openly about these things, just because we spent so much time together last year. So they did. They've done a great job, and they continue to do so.
What were you able to do while you were kind of in that recovery process to kind of stay sharp, and keep your mind on the court?
It wasn't very long. The first 2 days were really frustrating. But I mean, me, Mose, Jesse, and Nate, we all kind of talked. They kind of came up to me individually. Really the main thing was don't drift into that space, where you get into a negative mindset. Like, continue to stay positive. Whether you're out a week, whether you're out for however long, don't get into that spot because it's hard to get out of. That's what I try to do. I continue to watch the guys. I continue to talk from the sideline and help as I could. And when it was my time to come on court or in the weight room or in the training room, I did what I had to do, to get better and improve that day. And that's all you can ask.
Was this something that, at least for you, you said that you expected to come back, or you knew you had the possibility of coming back this year?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I know my body, and this is an injury that I've had before, something that I've dealt with. So we were able to have a good conversation about how I went about it the last time I done it, and what they thought, and move forward. We were able to come to a good medium ground. They listened to me, I listened to them. Like I said, we have a great relationship. So I was eyeing Friday, but it's okay, because I get game one. So no complaints from this.
What have you been able to do? I guess the last 2 days you've been full go in practices in terms of.
Just the same thing I just said. Continue to be talkative from the sidelines. Continuing to work out. Afterwards in my own time with Nate, with Randy. Continue to test myself, and again, they needed to see that I could protect myself, that I could play, and be useful. I'm out on the court. There's no point in coming back, if I'm not able to do the things that I need to do and I want to do. So. Continuing to build those things, show those things, and be present while I'm here.
I know it was just 2 games, so what did you see from your teammates these last 2 preseason games, as far as seeing from the bench what you liked, what you saw, and how you feel you can help?
We're starting to do the little things very well. Whether that's crashing and giving ourselves extra opportunities. Ball movement, I think, has been phenomenal. Too phenomenal at times, so where guys are passing up open shots. But that's a good thing. That's what preseason's for. You play those games to kind of get all that out. Get comfortable with the ball movements, our actions, the different things we want to get to in switches and drops. When teams are ready and things like that, when they pick up pressure. We got to see a lot of different situations, which you can't ask for anything more in preseason. We were in close games. We're in games that weren't so close, and we got to work on a lot. So I think going into it, we've won 4 straight. Whether they're preseason or not, that's great momentum to build on, and everybody's feeling good.
Thanks, Jalen. Thanks, Jalen.